Alright, guys, FPL Battleground. We've missed you guys, and yeah, it's game week 14. Game week 13 has been very, 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 very exciting. Just a few moments, let me set up. Manchester United fans, I'm sure you guys are not too bothered seeing me on the Crystal Palace jersey because you guys came out with 3 points in that game, and kudos to you guys because it was a tough match actually. 3-4-3, they call it the 3-4-3 derby because the both teams actually played 3-4-3, and it was nice to see Manchester United come out on top because there have been a lot of criticism on Amorim, and I'm sure if he had lost that match, it would have been very, very, very painful for him. It would have been a very, very painful experience. I'm sure if he had lost that match, it would have been a very, very painful experience. So on to game week 14. Without wasting much time, you guys can join us live. Without wasting much time, we're going to be talking about game week. We're going to talk about game week 13, and first of all, we're going to be talking about our winner for game week 13. Yeah, our manager of the week for game week 13, the Alchemist. He came out with 77 points, and that's crazy. I mean, because game week 13 was such a bad week, especially for me. It was a bad week because I was below average. I had 22 points in game week 13. Imagine me having 22 points in game week 13. I had 1 point from Cucurella, 2 points from Timber, 1 point from Danny Munoz, 1 point from Mbuemo, 2 points from Ndiaye, 4 points from Declan Rice, 1 point from Semenyo, 1 point from Krupi Jr. I thought he was going to start. 2 points from Danny Welbeck and 4 points from Erling Haaland. So it's been a mixed game with 13 for me. I was proud of my team, and let me know how many of you guys actually got above the average points because I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. I couldn't believe that this was me. This was my team, but we're gonna come stronger in game week 14. Yes, and game week 14 is tomorrow. The midweek games tomorrow. A lot of wonderful fixtures are coming up. We have Bournemouth against Everton. Then we have Man City. Okay, before I go ahead, I want to thank Chelsea and Chelsea fans for blowing up the league, for making the Premier League so interesting because if they had lost that game, it would have been very, very difficult. Arsenal would have been on the run, and it's good to see the Premier League is still open at this stage. Yeah, so anything can happen. Chelsea still in the title race. Man City still in the title race. Arsenal fans, they are going to be a little bit nervy this period. Getting into December where Premier League really kicks off. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Arsenal are going to cope with the pressure that's going to come in for them. They face Brentford tomorrow, and hopefully for them they can get 3 points from there. And as well, Chelsea go on to face Leeds United. Man United going to face West Ham. That's a very, very good match for them to continue their Premier League run. And also Burnley against Crystal Palace, Arsenal against Brentford, Fulham against Manchester City. A lot of us thought that Manchester City were going to keep a clean sheet against Leeds over the weekend, but circumstances, and they almost threw the lead, and it was bad for a few of us who thought that they were going to keep a clean sheet. So we're hoping that against Fulham they are going to be able to keep a clean sheet, especially for us that are going to be going with Manchester City defenders in our FPL game week 14. So Manchester City, you guys have to keep a clean sheet in that game. Our manager of the week, the Alchemist. I mean, you have to message us to receive your $10. It's not been easy in a game week that was very, very terrible. You had 77 points, and just send us a DM, and we're gonna give you your prize money. So without wasting much time, I'm gonna give you guys some of the top news that you need to know going into game week 14. So Igor Thiago is the most transferred in player for FPL game week 14, and I don't think that's a surprise. I don't think that's a surprise at all because Igor Thiago has been very, very wonderful. He seems to be a penalty magnet. I don't know how the penalties keep coming to him. He seems to be a penalty magnet, and that's the reason why a lot of managers are rushing to get him in because um, he has 11 goals in 13 starts this season. In 13 starts, he has 11 goals, and I think that's very, very wonderful because he's been outscored by only Erling Haaland, and that's a very, very good record. So um, getting Igo Thiago into your team if you haven't gotten him, and also we need to look for replacements for Caicedo and Ismail Sarr. For those owners of Caicedo and Ismail Sarr, and we're going to be looking for replacements for them. Caicedo obviously sent off in the Arsenal game, and Ismail Sarr got injured very, very early in that Crystal Palace game against Manchester United. So managers are going to be looking for the possible replacements for them, and I think the possible replacements for these guys should. I think first of all, I would have suggested Foden, but Foden is a little bit more expensive, especially for those of us that do not have enough money left in the bank. I would say Ndiaye. Ndiaye should be one that we should look for game week 14 because I think he's going to have a very decent run against Bournemouth. Bournemouth seems to be struggling defensively at the moment, and yes, Marco Senesi is going to be out for game week 14 because he's accumulated 5 yellow cards for the season already. So if you have Marco Senesi on your team, I think you have to go get him out before game week 14. If you didn't know, you know now. He has accumulated 5 yellow cards already for the season, so he's not going to feature in game week 14. So the possible replacement for Caicedo, I would say, first of all, we should consider Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes looks like he's going to be starting the next couple of games for Newcastle United. Although I'm not sure about midweek games because there tends to be a lot of rotation when it comes to midweek games. So I'm not really expecting Harvey Barnes to start, but we're going to see about that. So you guys, I'm going to be asking, who do you think is going to be our differential for game week 14? Because the FPL is getting to a point in the season where differentials are what we need to be going to better our rivals. Yeah, this is the point where you need very, very strong differentials to outscore your rivals. And I've come up with a couple of differentials, and the first person I'm going to mention is someone that nobody ever talks about, and surprisingly so because he keeps on giving us wonderful performances. Is the person of Enzo Lefi of Sunderland. Yes, Enzo Lefi is a very, very wonderful differential. Yeah, a lot of people do not have him, and he's been going under the radar, and he's been giving a lot of wonderful performances. And Sunderland don't look like they're about to slow down. At least not yet. At least not until the AFCON. We still have like 3 more weeks before they know their fate in the AFCON. They have 7 players going. So Enzo Lefi is one that has been really, really wonderful this season. And Sunderland have a fixture against Liverpool this game week, but so that's where the problem is. I don't know. The way Liverpool is at the moment, we do not really know what to expect from Liverpool. So I think Enzo Lefi might be a little bit risky for game week 14. So another differential I'm going to be talking about is Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo, I've been saying, he's been Liverpool's best attacker this season, just ahead of Ekitike. So Cody Gakpo is someone that you guys should look at getting him for game week 14, especially if you don't have, you're looking for a wonderful differential because Gakpo tends, like against West Ham, we saw that he came out with a goal and an assist, and I expect that good form to continue because he's obviously going to start on Tuesday against. He's going to start on Tuesday against against Sunderland. Yeah, against Sunderland. So I expect that they're going to cause Sunderland a lot of trouble. Cody Gakpo is someone that you should get into your team. So another differential I'm going to be talking about is Foden. Foden looks like he's found his spark again. He's rekindled, and he looks like he's gearing up for the World Cup. I'm sure he's trying to send statements out to Thomas Tuchel that he's ready for the World Cup and he's ready to compete for the World Cup places. So Guardiola looks like he's ready to give him that fit. He's ready to bring him back into the team fully, and we've seen a wonderful performance again from him over the weekend, and I expect that to continue in the midweek against Fulham. So Foden is a differential. Not a lot of people have him yet. So if you're looking for a very good differential, try getting Foden before a lot of managers go get him. And the next differential I'm going to be talking about is Malen, Daniel Malen. Yeah, I actually don't know why the manager, what's his name? The Aston Villa manager does not really start Malen. I don't understand why Malen keeps getting benched, because anytime he comes in, he always has a point to prove, and he's proved that he's able to play on the wing, because naturally he's a striker, and Watkins makes it so hard for him to get a consistent start. So if the coach can, if Emery can trust him, playing him in the wing, I think he's going to be very very good. And yeah, he's going to be a very very good differential for game week 14. And also O'Reilly, like I said, I've always been skeptical about O'Reilly, but O'Reilly looks like he's nailed down the left back position at Manchester City. Yes, I don't expect Aït to actually get back into that team just like that. But there might be a rotation on Tuesday. We never know. There might be a rotation for midweek games, but I expect that O'Reilly keeps his place. And with the AFCON coming up, I think Guardiola is trying to find that consistent first team bond within Man City. So I expect that he's going to continue with O'Reilly. Yes, I expect that he's going to continue with O'Reilly. So O'Reilly is someone that O'Reilly is a very very good differential. I think it's owned by just 11 or 12% of managers already this season. So O'Reilly is someone that you guys should look to get in as a differential. Um, Moving away from differentials, I'm going to ask: is it time to let Semenyo go? Because Semenyo is not the Semenyo that we've known. And like I said, I gave him a last chance in this weekend against Sunderland. I gave him a last chance, and he's just proving us right that he might be done with his with his work for us this season already. So Semenyo is someone that I think we have to let go. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think it's someone that you do not have to hold on to just because other managers are holding on to him. He's really lacking in confidence at the moment, and I don't know if a lot of managers are still going to have a lot of faith and patience in him, because he's actually very costly. He has a very high price at the moment. So I think a lot of managers are going to let Semenyo go, and I'm one of those managers. I think I've had enough of Semenyo, and if you guys are part of that train, let me know in the comment section if you think that Semenyo should leave the team, should leave your FPL team, or if you think that we should still give him a little bit of trust, especially going into game week 14 where they go and face Everton. I don't know if Semenyo is going to perform, but we have to look into Semenyo. Another question is: are we trusting Liverpool to win and keep a clean sheet? Liverpool kept a clean sheet against West Ham United, and a lot of us were very skeptical because the performance has been very bad. But it was a show of strength. It was just a reminder that we are Liverpool, and anything can happen. You can expect anything from us. We can always beat anybody any day. We can always keep a clean sheet any day. So against Sunderland, I don't know what to expect from them. I don't know the lineup they are going to go with. I don't know if Mo Salah is going to start, but I think we might just have to start trusting Liverpool assets a little bit more right now, especially as their fixtures are going to be very very friendly this period. They have very very medium rated fixtures. So Liverpool, we have to look into them, look into their defense, look into getting Van Dijk into your defense. Also looking at Gakpo, but Mo Salah, I'm not really sure about Mo Salah just yet, because and his club might just be thinking about the AFCON already, and he might be trying to minimize Salah's play time. So Salah is not someone that I think we can easily trust at the moment yet, until after the AFCON before we talk about Salah. But Cody Gakpo, yes, Cody Gakpo is one that you should go with. I've already talked about him. Then the dilemma between Isak and Ekitike is